Silver from Everything Changes 23. Just starting out a video today. So some of the things I've had to do for my honey-do list, if you will, are cleaning the grill so it works. So when you have a smoker, this is the Oklahoma Joe's DLX, very nice machine. But sometimes it just wants to not work right. So what we got to do, or what we've already done, is we've taken a coat hanger, the old metal one here. See that? Old metal coat hanger. There's the old hook. So take one of those, and we have cleaned out our auger system. As you can see, she's still burning pretty good right now. She's trying to burn off all the excess. It's called the cool down phase, so she'll burn like that for a while. Usually 10-20 minutes, and there you go. So with that, I'm going to take this, pause this for a minute, and be right back. Alright, told you I'd be right back. Now I'll get a little better video for you guys. Alright, so here's our Oklahoma Joe's smoker. I've had to take and tear out the centerpiece, which is sitting on the ground over there. And yes, I had to do a little, I don't know if you can see that down there or not. Right there, I had to drill that one fastener. Did not want to get loose. I was stripping out the head, which I running myself. Worked out to close that so we don't catch the yard on fire. But had to clean out the auger system. Now it didn't seem to be that clogged, but I did have to run that through. And you see down here, you get your whole finger down in there. So it is running. It is warm down there, but not hot. You can see it turning ever so slowly. And that's what drives in pellets. Alright. So that's been my fun so far today. Oh, did I mention it's 95 degrees outside with 100% humidity? Okay, maybe not 100, but the relative humidity is somewhere in the upper 60s, low 70s. And it's a sweat box out here, so at least I'm in the shade, but there's hardly any air movement, and I'm working with heat. Yeah, it's hot. See, it says cooling. Right now it's in the cooling phase when you turn it off. When it's all cooled off, you just hit the button. Actually, it shuts itself off, which is kind of cool. So once it's all done and it cools off here for a couple hours, I'll come back in here and put it all back together, and it'll be ready to use. This is one of the biggest problems with these type of smokers, is you have to clean the auger out. If you don't, like me, for 2.5 years, I have not taken any of the pellets out of the auger. So it took 2.5 years, but it did finally clog up. And what causes that is moisture. Get a lot of moisture in there. Your pellets kind of get moist, and when they break up, they do break up, they turn into really fine dust, and then that gets hard and causes your clogs. So as you see, I got a little bit of, it's a big trash can here. Big trash can I use, put all my pellets in, keeps them dry. Just close the lid, keeps them good and dry. Good old Rubbermaid, gotta love them. So, and then, oh yeah, you might see something over there. One of these days I'm gonna get back on this. This is a 1972 Schwinn back there. It's my daughter's bike. However, she doesn't ride it much because she's had knee injuries and everything else. So, yeah, another project need to work on is the fence. Yeah, that's been like that since the very first windstorm we had. Blew those two. Just broke that one fence post, and knocked those two down. So I've had to kind of, you see the red wire there holding the fence up to that. So turned it into the landlord and have yet to hear back. So it's kind of a small yard. It's not a huge yard by any means. It's big enough for me. I don't need much else. So then I got a couple things I'm going to be working on here eventually. This one here, this one runs good. The only problem with this one is the little red bulb. Well, it's not red anymore. You can see the bulb right here. It doesn't seem to put in any fuel, so it doesn't prime the tank. So I have to take the air cleaner off and do self priming, if you will. Ether, little ether does a lot. This one, this is a John Deere. I've had this for quite a few years. It's an 8.75 horsepower John Deere, so it's a big one. And this thing goes like crazy when it's running. Problem with this one is the carburetor got clogged up because before I knew about ethanol and what it did to small engines, I was using ethanol gasoline in all my small engines, and then that's when it clogged up the carburetor, and yeah, no fun. So clogged up the carburetor and wouldn't start anymore. So it has a bulb on it too. I don't want to do that because I don't know what's in this tank because I haven't opened it. It's dry. Thank goodness that's dry. That's good. Dry is good. And I had been using regular gasoline in this since I put the new carburetor on. The problem with this carburetor is, you see the bulb there? Well, it's not going to ever prime it because this is a Chinese carburetor that I had to find, because the John Deere carburetor that's in this, and I have the original still, got clogged up with the ether, and I haven't had the time to try to ultrasonic and or clean it with some carburetor cleaner and good stuff. So eventually I'll get to that. Both these lawnmowers run. However, this one's not going to run right until I get that carburetor back on it that's actually for it. I was going to buy a new carburetor for this, but I opted for the $20 Chinese one because the carburetor for this is like $200. Yeah, $200 for a carburetor for this thing. That's including tax. It's about $179. You add the tax to it, you're close to $200. So that's why I didn't buy a carburetor for it from John Deere. And the only reason you have to buy it from John Deere is because of how they have it set up for your primer bulb. All other carburetors, except for this model right here, any John Deere model is going to be like this. So if I can find an old John Deere that's broken, maybe I could get another one. But this one here, love this mower. It was fun to run because it would just take you all over the yard and not even bog down at all. As you can see, I'm in the sun again. I'm starting to sweat. It's kind of warm. So y'all want to look up the drive system on this. Is a Momentum drive system. It's a JS45 John Deere. I bought this at Home Depot for like $250 on clearance because it was damaged from the factory. And the damage was this arm right here. This arm right here was bent upward just enough to where it wouldn't set level. Well, guess what? I fixed that real quick. Got me a bar, put it underneath there, and guess what? I just bent it back down. Close enough. Good to go. Never had any issues with it after that. Runs down the road smooth. Now this one's different. Some of the newer ones are better because they have, they'll do both wheels at the same time in the back, or all four wheels at the same time. That's kind of cool, but not necessary. You can do it all yourself. Just takes a little bit more time. So, and one of my next projects, and this is a ways out here. This one is getting this back up and running. Now, the biggest problem with these are tires and tubes. The tubes and tires on these are an odd size, and you can only buy them from Schwinn. And just the tubes and tires for this thing's going to cost around $100. 10 years ago, and I redid this one before, and yeah, it's got more rust on it since I did it. This will come right off. It's just surface rust. As you can see, it was pretty polished up at one point. Clean some of that dirt off there. See how polished it was. It's still got some surface rust, but that'll come all off. And that takes a lot of time to polish all that stuff up. So I'm going to do all that. The pedals and the crank, they don't polish up so easily, so I'm just going to take a wire brush and just get those as best I can. At the time we did this 10 years ago, we put pedals on it. I redid all the bearings, put tires and tubes. Like I said, the tires and tubes alone were $80 at the time. Now they're probably closer to $120, $125, just because of inflation. This is the original seat, as you can see. It says Schwinn. Very nice looking Schwinn right there. So that's going to be one of my projects I'm going to do, and I'll film most of that. I like to say most because you never know what's going to happen, right? So we'll get this, and again, it's a 1972 Schwinn. It's got a lot of damage to it as far as paint damage, things like that, but it is what it is. And other than that, it's in good shape. No cracks in the frame. Frame's in perfect condition. Bearings are good. Rims are straight. Can't ask for much more than that in a bicycle. And some of the issues with this is getting parts. So it's kind of like one of those old cars. Sometimes you get parts from them, sometimes you can't. And I'm really hoping that I can get some tires and tubes, because what happens over the years, this thing's been sitting out here and the tires are cracked, and the tubes won't hold any air anymore. So we'll get with that. We'll go do that and get that done. This is the back side of that grill as well, as a matter of fact, just so you guys can see. It's electric in a sense. You got your electric power there, and you got your bucket dump right there. You can dump all your pellets in after you're done. That's what you're supposed to do. And again, I never did that until now. I'm going to have to start, and there's some more parts of it. And there's the grill, the grates and everything right there. So you can see all that. But we'll get all that back together, show it to you working next time I use it. Finish this video out that way. Let's see how she's doing. Still says cooling. And look, there's no more flame. So I just burned up most of the pellets that were in there. And you just go like this, all through. Got some hot ones in there still, so you gotta be careful when you're doing this. There we go. Got most of that out of there, so that's good. And you can see all the, I had this clean. You can see all the dust left over from just burning off the excess. I believe it's done turning now. Yep, it's done turning now, so it's no longer turning. And temperature, I don't know, I'm not going to turn on to find out, so we'll just let it finish cooling. When it's all cool, we'll come back in here, because it's still pretty warm. The metals are, so we'll come back in here and put it all back together when it's all cooled down. So it's got two holders here, then you got, I could probably get away with not even putting a screw in over here, but I'll drill that back the rest of the way out and retap it with one that'll come out next time I want it to take it out. So do a little bit more vacuuming to vacuum the rest of this out, since this is all fairly new. I just had this all vacuumed out, so I'm gonna get all this extra stuff off of there right there. So we get all that off, and all this down here, even though it's at the hole. There's a bucket underneath there to catch all that stuff. So there's your bucket. All right, cool. All right, well, when I get done and I'm ready, I will come back and show you how to put this thing back together. It's not really that difficult, but we'll do it anyway. All right, till next time, I'll finish the video here in a little bit. All right, welcome back. We got it all back together except for the grates. Just got to put the grates in. I'll tell you what, this piece right here, whew, it's a bear. It has a little screw there, a little sheet metal screw on this side, and then down there is a machine screw, and down there is another machine screw. If you can see that, there you go. There's that machine screw down there. And you can see this thing goes all the way down to the bottom. So I've taken everything out like you saw it before, and I just put it all back together. So, and it's working now. So we are good to go on that front. Oh wait, I got one more thing to do. Yeah, I have a pretty good setup over here. I got gas grill. That's what I had before I had this. This was the second thing I purchased. I got a heck of a deal on this from Lowe's 2.5 years ago. They were discounting these to $100. Actually, it was $99.98. So you know how they do their sale prices, 98 cents the sale price. So $99.98. They at the time were retailing for $599.99. So I couldn't pass it up. I should have bought two, only bought one. I still got to put the smoke and sear handle back on. That's 2 screws, no big deal. You see it sitting down there right there. That's the handle that goes to maneuver the shear to smoke side, which turns that inside there to like that. I get it to turn. Oh, you get the idea. Turns. Anyway, you get the idea. That goes back on there like that, so it's all ready to go for next time I do decide to use it, which may be real soon. Man, it's unbearable out here today, though. Man, I'll tell you, I'm sweating. I wore a black shirt on purpose. So let me grab a mitt, because those I've been sitting out in the sun for a while. So let me put a mitt on here. I'll set you down here. So I'll put my mitt on. And yeah, that metal's going to be hot. And these are oven mitts. So I got my oven mitt on. I can grab my handle. These are pretty heavy. It goes in here like that. Okay. There's that one. And we'll do this one. Get it out here so I can get to it. This one goes on here like that. There, and now you got the last one, which you can see is round. So let's grab that one. And put it in here. You like how they got that so it fits perfectly in this? These are hard to grip with. But we'll get it. It's pretty heavy. I ain't gonna lie. It weighs a good amount. There we go. Now she's ready, and I can put the other racks in if I need to, and they go back here. They can adjust in all those places. You can see there's 4. Instead of just having 2 on the outside or 2 in the middle, there's 4. So you get a nice sturdy. You can put almost as much weight as you want on those racks when they're installed. But generally, I leave it like this. I cook hamburgers on here, steaks, all that. I do the sear methods first, and then I'll put it on smoke. It slows down the heat, keeps it all down around it. Oh man, this thing works great. Love it. And when it's too cold out to be doing this or this, sometimes I'll do this. Yes, it's a Blackstone. And there's a story behind this one too. Now this is an add-on extra right there, but the rest of it is all original on there. It didn't come, it came with a 20-pound tank, and just as you see it with a 20-pound tank, $150. I've had this for about 2 years, about a year, no, almost 2 years now. So, cool beans. I'm gonna put this up here. Take off my glove. Whew. There we go. There's my glove taken off. Got my dirty hands. Woo-hoo. This is a dirty mess here. These are never something that you want to do without getting your hands dirty. Guaranteed. There's so much grease and grime all the way back in here. Yeah, you can clean it off, but it's called burn in. You know, you got to burn in. So that's my Oklahoma Joe's. I pretty much love this thing. I use it all the time. I used to. I didn't use it much this year because just quite frankly, it takes about 20 minutes for it to warm up to the temperature you want. And then once it's all warmed up, you can use it. And then it's got to sit for 20 minutes after the fact, burn off like you saw. It took about 20 minutes to burn off all the rest of that stuff. So that's one item down. We're good to go on that one. Woohoo! Got one thing down today, and it is hot. I am about ready to clean up this mess and head into the old homestead to cool off for a little bit. And yeah, it makes a mess. I got a lot to clean up, don't I? Dang. Got a drill. Had to drill that hole out. Got that in there. And then got my vacuum. That vacuum is almost 40 years old. And the only reason I don't get rid of it is because it's got a metal bucket. It works great. It's got a metal bucket in it, so if I have hot ash, I can put the hot ash in there, let it sit outside for a couple of days. Good to go. Dump it wherever I need to. All right, well, that's all I got for today. So hopefully that's a good video for you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget I'll do all that. Man, it gets hot out here. Like I said, it is a warm one out here. You can kind of get out here and see how I've got it set up around the front door. I don't have a lot of room, but if I had a place to put those lawnmowers, then they'd be in that, but I don't. Landlord will not let me put a building on the site, so I can't put a shed out here, even a portable one, even though I think I'm going to do that. I've been here 5 years now, so I think I'll do what I want. Sometimes. All right, with that said, I probably won't. With that said, you guys have a good day. And until the next video, I'll see you then. This is Delbert from Everything Changes 23. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to pound that like button. Hit that subscribe and go to town. All right, thank you much. Till next time. Bye.